There's no measurable curvature. Shall I say it again? There's no measurable curvature. Would you like me to say it slowly?
There's no measurable curvature.
Hello. Hello, I'm back, and this is my channel, Roxanne the Globalist Denier, and I'm coming back with another public conversation today with the awesome, amazing 007 from Tenerife. It's almost been a year now, since we had our first public conversation. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. All the better for speaking to you. Like, I'm just getting used to this whole setup, right? As you know, we've just been getting the sound and making sure that we don't echo and making sure that we can hear ourselves. And it just suddenly occurred to me, for everyone that's watched the last 2 pieces of content on my channel, it may have looked like I wasn't paying attention all the time, or that I might have been tired and I may have been looking like this while someone was talking to me. And it's only just occurred to me that meanwhile I think I'm looking at the person on the screen, I'm not looking at the camera. So when I used to be on the laptop, the camera was like right there in front of me, and now it's up here, and it's like, where am I looking? Am I looking here? Am I looking here? Am I looking here? So just bear with me. I'm hoping that things are getting better bit by bit, the audio, the visual, the content. So yeah, if I'm not looking in the right way, just bear with me. Rich, I don't know if you saw one of my recent uploads on my community section, but I did a little bit of an update. I wanted to let everybody know where I was going with my channel. Obviously, my channel is based around the global eye. I'm not changing my name. I'm going to be Roxanne the Globalist Denier for the rest of my life. I wanted to kind of come up with a bit of a mission statement to show everybody the forecast for where I'm looking to go. I'm looking to put out, consistent content each week. I'm looking for that content to be factual based. I'm looking for that content to be organic. I'm looking for that content to be transparent and public, like this is, so that you can watch it, make your own informed opinion, and then go off and do your own research based on the facts of what we were saying. They may not be facts in the sense of, concrete fact. I'm not going to start claiming things that I can't prove. So you're not going to find anything like that in our conversations. But the conversations I'm looking to have are more of the same of what I started this channel doing. I was trying to have open public conversations about the global eye and everything that comes under that. And hopefully myself will come out of the conversation with my conscious slightly expanded than what it was when I came into the conversation. So here we are. Rich, I want to ask you, right? It's been, like I said, about a year since I've been talking to you. And in that year, I've seen you make a load of observations. I've seen you do a lot of research and give us the information based on what you've looked into. What have you been up to recently? Because I know you've been gigging. I know you've been getting around and kind of doing bits and pieces a little bit differently. How you been?
Yeah, I've been alright. I've been kind of keeping myself to myself and just trying to absorb all the information that I've been trying to absorb and process all the information that's been coming our way, especially with all the mud flood stuff, and it's we've been swamped with all these possibilities of what's happened and what have they lied about and who's lying and everything. I think we're all getting they've deliberately scattered a whole bunch of breadcrumbs around now for everybody to go scurrying around, so nobody's actually focused on what's really happening, which is like the bigger picture. Everybody's got to look at the bigger picture, and people are coming out and they're going, oh well, yeah, well this is the bigger picture, and then, well, actually no, hang on a sec, no, I think this is the bigger picture, and then you keep changing your perspective, and you keep changing your perception of what's going on, and you see the really big picture of it all. Whilst they're not the same, they fit together, and it all fits into what I've already come to understand myself about people. We're talking about having a creator, being created. Who cares whether it's flat or round or shaped like a pear? The realm that we're in, it was created, and we it's a really, really finely balanced system, and we are meant to fit into it. We were designed to fit into it. And it's been the society and it's been the powers that should not be that have been working us against it the whole time. And we've thought that we've been doing this like this for an eternity, but it turns out we've probably only been doing it like this for the last 250 years. So, you know, however long before, we might have been actually working much more in harmony with nature. And connection was lost. It's I do think that one of the things that I'm definitely guilty of is every time something goes wrong, I think it's because it's been sabotaged for malevolent or, you know, unbeneficial reasons. But actually, quite a lot of the time, it's like, oh wow, thank God that didn't happen, or thank God that went wrong. I'm guilty. I know I am guilty. There's always a negative slant to a lot of things.
So we were having a conversation the other week actually, about some observations that you're able to just casually make from where you live. Yeah, like major observations casually from where you live. You were telling me about one that's over 100k.
Yep, 120. Over
120. Yeah.
Well, there's three. Essentially three things that you can see that are over 120 kilometers away.
Go for it.
On different areas. There's one I filmed 2 days ago.
And while Richie's saying this, do you know what I'm going to do when we edit this? Is I'm going to add in some optics so that you can see what he's talking about, because I know for some of you these might just be words that are coming out of his mouth of blah 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 and another observation.
What I'll do is I'll send you the video. I'll send you the little clips.
Lovely.
I won't send you the rendered video because I haven't made it yet, but so I'll just, so you've got it straight away. I'll send you the little clips of what I filmed 2 days ago.
Nice. So what observations are those? What ones are you able to see?
So from my house I can see Gran Canaria, which is 61 kilometers away.
Nice.
But that's the nearest side of the island is 61 kilometers away. You can also see the little mountain or big hill that's behind Las Palmas airport, and you can see Las Palmas. Right, because of perspective you can't see those from the beach, right? But if you elevate 80 meters, I think it is, to where I can see it all clearly through the telescope, times 25 times zoom. I think it's 25 times, it might be 15. But it's 125 kilometers away. The hill that's behind Las Palmas is less than 200 meters tall, right? And so if you work out at an eye level of 80 meters above sea level, you work out something that's 125 kilometers away. It should be so far below the curve that 200 meter mountain shouldn't be seen. Even at 80 meters elevation, you shouldn't be able to see it, because it should be below, I forget how many thousand.
No, but by the time we edit it, on the bottom of the screen now, somewhere on the screen, you're going to see the specifics of what Rich is trying to explain, and we'll give you some optics to assist you with that, and then go and look into it for yourself. Don't take our word for it. Don't take Rich's word for it. Go look into it for yourself. We implore you to do that. Best excuse.
Don't
take anyone's word for anything. Man. Go and look into it for yourself.
And you don't have to come to Tenerife, okay? You can go to any one of the Canary Islands.
Right.
Come and have a holiday, man, on the Canary Islands. And bring a camera capable of a decent zoom, or like a P900 if you got one. That'd be really good, because then you'd be able to see the beaches, which absolutely shouldn't be seen.
I am for sure. That much I do know. I'm for going there.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe
You'll
it
see
when
it.
I see it.
You'll see it. Don't worry. You'll see it.
When that's from my place, right? But when you drive around the island, so I'm on the where am I? I'm on the west side of the island. If you drive down to the south, you can see El Hierro, which is 120 kilometers away. La Gomera is quite close. It's like 41 kilometers away, so it's it's close, really. You'd be able to see it, but there is still, you shouldn't be able to see the harbour, and we can see the harbour.
Okay.
And then there's to the right of La Gomera, there's La Palma, which is not Las Palmas, which is the airport of Gran Canaria. It's La Palma.
Yeah.
But that's 125 kilometers away.
So realistically speaking, there is multiple ways to have, you know, observations on any of the Canary Islands, not just yours.
Any of them, absolutely. I mean, I'm planning at some point to drive up to the north of the island to see on a clear day to go and see Lanzarote and the other, you know, the other.
And
islands.
I think there's another fellow globe denier on his way over at some point this year as well, Mr. Flat Earth Benidorm. He's looking to reach on out there as well.
He's coming over in the next few weeks, I think.
Do you know what we'll do? We'll do a link up and we will do a hangout like this, and we'll bring George in as well, and we'll link up and let everybody know what's happening. For those of you that are in Spain, for those of you that are in the Canaries, and for those of you that are in Spain or people in Britain that are looking to go over to the Canary Islands this year or have a planned holiday to Tenerife, there are globe deniers in Tenerife, and there are more globe deniers going to Tenerife. So and there is a lot to do out there, guys. There is, in fact, it's probably easier for us to list what you can't do out there than what you can do.
One thing you can do is you can go paragliding off the side of the mountain, right, for €90, and you jump off and do a tandem jump, like strapped to someone, and you can do you'll go, you know, paragliding around the mountain and over the sea. I don't know how many hundreds or possibly 1,000 feet you get up to, but the thermals can keep you up for a couple of hours. And up there, imagine what you'd be able to see up there on a clear day. The only trouble is the calimas that we get here, and also we get calimas and we get chemical clouds that are actually just too damn low.
This is something else you've been talking about. I'm sorry to switch subjects like this, but it's something that we were both talking about the other day, the residue of dust that's on the cars, and they're going to claim it's from the Sahara, it's the sands, it's this, it's that. But listen, it's here in London, you know, and it's rancid. You run your finger on a car, any car that looks like it's dusty, and you look at your hand and it looks it looks like what is it when it turns Roxanne?
Oxygenated.
What did you say?
Oxidized.
That's it, oxidized. It looks like it's oxidized, but it doesn't look okay. And then it was my daughter that said, Mum, you know, like Asian people wear like masks and stuff. They've been doing that for years. And I was like, yeah, we don't really do that here though, do we? So they've not been trusting the air for a long time. And I know they're dealing with inner city smog. I'm not silly. I know that inner city has pollution issues, but I think it goes worse than that. I've been looking at, who was it that put a video up this, Geo-Engineering, Chemtrails, cloud seeding, all of that stuff. That's not a conspiracy. That's legit.
Well, no, it is. No. It is a conspiracy. It's not a theory. It's not this is the thing, right? People go, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. They've gone and attached the two words together.
Right.
And everybody, it's all, anything that's conspiracy theory is just chucked out.
Well, it's like truth's the new hate speech, isn't it? Really? You know, if you're spouting truth, you can be considered talking hate speech. It's crazy.
But all of these conspiracy theories since 9/11 have all been proven to be true. So they're not theories anymore, they're actual conspiracies that have gone on. These are conspiracies that are going on right now. This thing with the air, you know, I put it in my tune about they're controlling the air, fat cats controlling the sky. And that's what they're doing. They're controlling. You look at there's clouds out there, man, today. You can see when the clouds are not natural, when they've been kind of seeded. You can see when they've got that strange
it's like an unnatural look to them, isn't it?
It's got that never-ending story, like there is a substance in water. That's what they look more like, is like a substance that's been poured into water. And I think the thing is, that's what our air is. We call it air, but it's not. Our air is actually very, 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 very thin water, isn't it? We are water. Bruce Lee and all of that. Be water, my friend. Be water.
And you were also, I mean, that we're just there talking about observations, and look what Rich has got on his doorstep. You live literally a few meters away from the coast, and you're able to make these observations daily.
All right.
So if you haven't already done so, I'm not advertising for tourist destinations. No one is sponsoring me to do this, but I'm just saying, if you haven't already been to Tenerife, go to Tenerife. If you haven't been to the Canary Islands, head out there. I've even got an uncle that lives in Lanzarote, bless him. I'm just not keen on the black sand. Just don't know what it is about the dark sand in Lanzarote that does it for me.
I don't like it either. There's that bit, but they're not all black sandy beaches. In
no, they're not.
They're
not. I know the majority. There is
beach.
Yeah. So, but you're not the same there on Tenerife, are you? With the sand, you've got like normal.
The sand here, it's normal. It's like it's a little bit dirty. You know, it's not like it's not like the Bahamas sand. But listen, I want to say, because you're talking about observations that are here on my doorstep. That's not the only observation that I make here. I make another observation well, there's two observations that I make. There's the lack of curvature. There's what they're doing to our skies, and I know that's I can make the observation over the last 4 years. When I arrived on the island, there was not a single chemtrail that came over. There were chemically seeded clouds that came over, but not that often, right? And we got calimas that were only once a month. Now, 4 years later, the sky's pretty much always got something in it. I see the planes going overhead. They're spraying the chemicals right overhead in front of the sun everywhere. And the calimas now, you're lucky if you get 4 days free in a month from a calima. There's always some kind of light calima going on. But so that's another observation. But there's also the aeroplanes. I don't know how many people, if you look online and you put in stationary aeroplane or levitating jets, anything like that, hovering planes, you know. Affected Collective did a really good video about it last year. She hasn't created a video for ages, but she was one of my favourite channels, and I'm gonna plug Affected Collective. Right? Everybody should go and check out
Affected Collective.
Everybody should go and check her out, because I tell you what, she will resonate with you big time.
Nice.
I know she will resonate with you.
Nice.
Roxanne, I know what she says, and she's got such a lovely voice as well. She's got such a friendly voice. She sounds a lot like the girl of Truth Stream Media. If anybody watches Truth Stream, she sounds very similar to her, but she's assured me she's not the same person, because I've had conversations with her. I haven't spoken to her for a really long time. But
Nice.
I've personally filmed, but countless other people have filmed passenger jets, right, behaving in ways that they shouldn't physically be able to do what they're doing.
Right.
They're hovering in the air.
Have we got an example of that? Is there any video links that we can give anybody? Is there anything we can show as an example? Has anyone put anything out?
We can definitely find,
or something similar, that you're trying to describe. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we could, put some screenshots up, or just put some like 3 4 second clips or something of these, because there are loads of them. Cool. But I have personally, you can use my videos, but my videos aren't that good, because the only time I've been able to catch it has been at night.
Right.
And while I've been moving, I've been in the car driving.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for people to go, yeah, but that's because you're driving and da. Right? But the thing is, what I'm really good at driving, I'm really good at shooting. Right? Because my spatial awareness and my judgment are really, really fucking spot on. You know, I'm good at things like that. So when I'm driving and I'm seeing this jet coming in, and when you think about, if you look at the statistics of what the average speed of passenger jet coming into land, right, would be, you judge the speed that you're doing. I'm doing 120 kilometers an hour, and the angle that the plane's coming in at, right, it should be coming towards me and past me really quickly, not that much time at all, but it's there. And it's just staying there, and as I'm driving up, it's still there, and I'm looking at it I'm using references. I'm using the references of where I'm looking. There are lots of those big windmill, turbines, propellerators. Ranger Dick calls them propellerators, right? The propellerators that they put them there to make the hurricanes for America. That's how they're making the hurricanes for America, with the propellerators they've been putting up here. So I use that as a reference, right? And you can see this thing isn't fucking moving, and if it is, it's crawling at like 15-20 miles an hour. This is a passenger jet that weighs how many thousand tons? And it's meant to have how many thousand tons of fuel inside the wings and all that crap. The whole story about jets is a lie. We've not been told the truth about how they work, about how the fuel, the engine, all of that. I don't know what it is, but they're not. There's no. I see it every single day now. Jets that are flying too low and too fucking slow. Sorry about my language.
That's all right.
Too low and too slow. They're flying. They're coming in like a couple of 100 feet off the ground. It seems like they're doing like 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I live underneath the flight path of Heathrow, and it really doesn't look like they're doing much more than 80 miles an hour when they're going over my house. It looks like they're going painfully slow. Anyone that's been in the garden with me that has seen those planes, they've witnessed them firsthand. And everyone that's been in my garden's gone, yeah, it looks like it's going at snail's pace.
Have you ever seen this? I watched the planes stacking up coming into the Tenerife South airport.
Yeah.
Right, and you watch them stacked back, and you can see like up to three. There'll be like 3 planes. Yeah.
They'll be spaced about 5 miles apart, about 60 seconds, 5 miles apparently.
It's almost as if they're on a conveyor belt. When they're coming into land, they're coming in. They slow right down until they're almost hovering, and then one goes into land, and then the next one.
Anyone can check this at Heathrow. At Heathrow, at the height of the flights coming in, and you can check this online. I think I'm right. It's about every 60 seconds, and apparently those planes are spaced around 5 miles apart. And where I'm at in Richmond, sometimes, depending on what way I'm driving back from the kids' school, there is a particular point where you can clearly see right into the centre of London, and you can see them stacked up just like a queue of traffic, and they all look like they're literally moving in rush hour traffic, like at a snail's pace. Looks unreal.
Just crawling like that, isn't it? Yeah. There's something that's going on there. I don't know what it is, man. But that's another observation that I make on a regular basis. I still haven't managed to actually capture. What I need to do, it's my fault, because what I need to do is actually go down to the best viewpoint.
Yep.
And camp out there for 5 hours and film all the planes coming in.
So you mean be a plane spotter? You mean be a plane spotter for a day?
I mean be a plane spotter.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll join you. If you go live, I'll be in the chat room. I'll plane spot with you. I'll camp out with you. I'm sure a lot of us would actually.
But there's other channels that have actually got daytime footage. In the daytime, broad daylight, planes just like there's one where the car's driving, and you see the plane and it's over this bridge or something, and the car drives under the bridge, and you can see the plane's not moving. You can see there's the perspective changes as it drives under. The plane's not moving. It's just fucking. It's just
that doesn't sound good. Oh no.
It's just sat there, and there's countless. There's loads of them. There's loads of them. So what are they? Are they holograms? Are they actually planes?
Okay, maybe we're going to get the optic for the one that you just described as well, because I think I need to see that. I literally need to see that. That sounds deep. That really does sound incredibly deep, and that kind of rolls into what you were talking about earlier on, about our perception, what's driving our reality. You know, the emotions, and you know what's behind that. It kind of.
So, I think that this is a trick. I think that they're pulling a trick on us because they know that some people will see it.
Yeah.
I think it's intended. It's intended that some of us see it. Because they want to see who sees it. They want to see who's noticing it. They want to know who can see what's going on. They want to know who's been effectively who's been effectively brainwashed and reprogrammed, and who is not. That's what the Mandela effect is about. It's about identifying the people that the program's not sticking with.
Yeah, I know this is random. I was watching a documentary last night. Crap, I've forgotten the name of it again. But they had a clip of that 12-year-old girl who'd done that genealogy thing on them presidents, and she'd connected like 42 presidents together, and that they were all related. I know that that's old hat, that's old news. But it was actually seeing the little girl stood beside her work, and she was like, I'm the first person that's put all this together, and and here's how it is. And they all went, yay, well done, darling. And I was just like, yeah, of course. It kind of just, you know, when it just kind of perks back up your memory of things that you've looked into, and you've kind of just revisit it and go, It's all like before, it goes into connecting the dots, doesn't it? You just kind of start going, yeah, there's a lot of skullduggery going on here, isn't there? There's layers on layers. It's like phyllo pastry on baklava. It's just hundreds of layers. Oh, peel them back one by one, one by one.
Yeah.
Messed up.
I've got there it is, the exact one I'm talking about.
Nice. So this is the video that Richard's talking about with the aeroplane as you're going under the underpass, and what I'll do is I'll put an addition in when I edit this. So this will be a good marker for you to get an optic on what he was saying.
Right, this is planes. It's only a 39-second clip.
Okay. Right? Wonderful.
Glitch in the matrix, suspended in the air.
Lovely.
You see it?
Yep, sure can. And you know what? Like I said, for editing purposes, I'm gonna. So just say the name of the video again.
It's Glitch in the Matrix. God, blooming screen up. Plane suspended in the air.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Glitch in the Matrix. Plane suspended in air.
Yep, we're going to put that in the link for the in the description for this video.
You see that?
Yeah. Just hold it up to the screen. Good though. That is good.
I've seen the same thing for myself. I was able to actually, what I would have done in the past I would have gone, oh, that must be a helicopter.
Yeah.
And looked away.
Yeah.
Or just dismissed it. I would have just dismissed it. I think that's what everybody's doing. Anybody that is paying attention, and they're looking, they're just dismissing it. They're going, nah, that can't be real.
True. It's so true. It's so true. So many messed up things are going on in this reality. Why do you think some people are awake to it and some people aren't? Why do you think some people are more susceptible to waking up to these things and some people aren't? What's your take on that?
I think because there's a mixture of this is really it gets kind of complicated but it's not. It's like what I was saying about being the center of the universe, being the center of your own verse.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Stan Smith's mentioned that a couple of times. Like, you are the center of it.
You can only see things from your perspective. You can
Yeah.
only see things how you can only perceive things the way you perceive them, and that's all driven by the input that you have received, the things that you've, you know, it's all about the input into your brain. So if you think about yourself as being basically a computer, or like think of it that you're playing a game. And your avatar is the player, is the piece that you play, and it has its own memory bank and everything inside of it, and it creates its own personality, and you have to get control of that, and you have to become one with it. You and the avatar, you and the ego have to be moving as one, like not even like a three-legged race. Like you've got to be you just got to be taking exactly the same steps at the same time for this reality to, you know, for you to be able to win the game. And the whole point of the game is to realize that you're playing a game. And the trouble is, because of our language, because of the language that they've given us to use, our vocabulary, it immediately puts stamps on things and labels things,
yeah,
people,
totally.
And then people, we as people, immediately, because of the associations with those labels, either chuck those things out, or, you know, we dismiss them. We don't listen. You go, oh, this is a game. Don't be so stupid. How could you say that life's just a game? What about those terrible things that are happening to the children in Somalia? Are you Somalian? Do you have a Somalian child? Are you connected to that reality at all in any way? You? Am I? No. All we know about that world is what we learn from the media, and the only way that we will find anything out about that world, about that reality, is
about going onto the ground and having real conversations with people.
To Somalia, and be with the Somalian people and see it firsthand for ourselves what is happening. What we'll find when we get there, I guarantee, is that it's not what we've been told. So who knows what's going on in Somalia, right? That's part of the game. That's Somalia to go and deal with. You've got to deal with yourself and what's going on around you. Immediately, the people that you affect emotionally, physically, the people that you're in contact with. So, you know, it doesn't have to be people that you're in contact with physically in your immediate vicinity. It's people that you're in contact with. You know, it's all your relationships. But what if the game, right? So each one of us is an individual consciousness.
Right.
But each game that we play, this game is so incredibly advanced that we're playing our own version of it. Each one of us is playing our own version of the game, but within this realm. So our games merge when we're focused on each other. Our games merge. Me and you, at the moment, our game is merged. There's aspects of the game we're playing the same game. We're not playing the same game, because once we get off the phone, you go and do your thing and I go and do my thing, our reality's diverse again. And that, you know, whilst we might be moving in the same kind of direction, we're not actually connected to each other to be sharing immediately our realities. We can catch up with our realities. We catch up with what's been going on with you and what's been going on with me. We catch up with it, and then we put that input into our perception of what's going on.
Listen, I want to talk about some of the things that you've been putting out on your channel recently. You've been putting out some, as far as I'm concerned, some really good content. I love the way that you put your views forward to people so honestly, and kind of unfiltered, if you will. I appreciate that from you, because you kind of do it in...
A lot of people don't appreciate it.
Yeah, but I, from my point of view, it's the happenstance of it. It's the fact that you do it in the now. Like, it's so very now. It's what's happening now. These are the thoughts that I'm having right now. This is what I've just gone through, and this is what's happened off the back of it. And am I on my own here? Is this? And I get a lot of feeling of solace from watching your content, because I know that it's not just happening to me. I'm not just seeing these things and experiencing these things. Other people, other contributed members of society are feeling it as well. We're not tin foil hat wearing loonies that people think people that question the things we do are. And I just say that because of the people I'm interacting with on the street. They literally think they're about to have an argument with a buffoon that thinks crazy things.
The trouble is,
and
you see what Alex Jones has just dealt a massive, hefty blow to the truth movement by his latest shenanigans. He's being called out straight away by the likes of Richie from Boston and what have you. A lot because of his alignment with Joe Rogan. But I mean, anybody that couldn't see the writing on the wall when just 5 years ago when he was ranting, and he was ranting and ranting and ranting. God, they make the fucking frogs gay. And by the way, I have this incredible solution that will bring back your vitality and it will keep you safe for the next 25 years. Only a 68-year-old. And all he's doing is selling stuff. At the end of the day, all he's doing on his channel is he's selling shit. He's installing fear, and then he's selling shit, and he's aggressive and screaming and shouting. If people couldn't see what he was 5 years ago, then they're not going to see what he is now and what he's always been, which is a plant to make sure that they always knew that people were going to wake up. They always knew that Neo was going to pop out, and there wasn't just going to be one Neo. There were going to be millions of us, and what they wanted to do was catch everybody nice and early and funnel them into the right. Just keep everybody in boxes. Keep everybody. Make sure everybody.
Well, you've identified a lot of the troll mentality just from where you're sitting in Tenerife, which I think is brilliant. I think seeing your perspective on troll mentality, for me, I like that one, and I like the one. I don't know if you went public with the one that you sent me in private. Did you go public with that one with the boxing ring?
Meet the troll. This is any troll you like, yeah? Any troll you like, any one of them.
How do you troll somebody?
Trolls like to try and intimidate the truther. See what happens though, because the truther don't give a f***. The truther don't give a f***.
Shit, make them quit social media?
The truther just tells them to put his away.
It's about pushing people's buttons so that they'll react to the way.
And good night!
Look, you don't just troll a woman with cancer to get a reaction from her. It's all about the group of people that are going to come to her defense.
Out comes the troll, spitting his unsubstantiated bullshit and lies designed to defame and demoralize. Boom! Good night, Muppet.
It's like the fission reaction that sets off the fusion explosion. The internet does it all, and you just sit back with your glass of wine and laugh.
Wow, that seems kind of mean.
Success.
You want answers? You want answers? I think I'm entitled. I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You can't handle the truth.
Dissected on Nathan's debate, And the fact that he just so willfully scrolled past it like it didn't mean anything, and it was all, and he, as Nathan's debate scrolls past the screen, he's doing disinfo, shills, shit, and I was just like, rah. And then I'm seeing Dave Murphy, where he absolutely bodied that. Was it an astrophysicist when he was out in the garden with them? He bodied them, and he's just scrolled, and he's like, I don't see anyone proper. I don't see anyone that's real. And what was alarming to me was who he did claim was authentic, and it was like, well, wait, just a little minute here, people. Little bit of discernment one should use. And then when I saw your response to it, I was so happy to see you speaking out in public about it, because I was...
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm out with Alfie. Where is it? Alf? Where is it? It's cool skies. Cool clouds. I just want to make this quick video. Me and Roxanne are gonna actually address this, I think, tomorrow, but I want to mention it as well because I'm going to talk about it anyway. I'm going to talk about it now. Doesn't hurt to have well, tomorrow I'll be having a conversation. Today I'll just be sharing my thoughts. But me and Roxanne watched we watched some stuff today together because it's cool, because she's got OBS Studio, so we were able to have a Skype call and actually share her screen, so we could both watch this Barnabus Nagy. Right, he had a good video. It was a good video talking about the paid flat earth trolls, because there are paid flat earth trolls. It actually shows the payment structure. Different tiers can depending on how many subscribers you have. You get paid X amount. It's like if you've got over 12,000 subs, you get paid. Alfie, come here. You get paid over $1,000 per video, per anti-flat earth video. Barnabus Nagy, mate. You made a bit of a boo-boo. I'm sorry, dude. You did a flat earth search in Google. Not Google, in YouTube, to see what videos came up. And you wrote them all off as being shills. Thing is, mate, if you check number 2 on the list, from The Guardian, the British newspaper, broadsheet, not tabloid, you would have seen that The Guardian, their video on it isn't actually negative towards flat earth. The title was vague. Flat earth is chucking out 2,800 years of science. It was a vague title, but it actually it can work both ways, can't it? Yes, that's exactly what's happening. We are throwing out 2,800 years of bullshit that they called science. They called it science, but it wasn't. It was bullshit. So there were other videos there. One was, more than one, I think, was from Nathan Oakley with a flat earth debate. Nathan is far from a shill, and he is absolutely a globe denier. We need to take this flat earth label off, because flat earth is, it's observably flat. Right? Every single vantage point, whether it be here at sea level or 150,000 feet, even 150,000 meters above the earth, it will still be flat. It will still be observably flat. We're globe deniers though, because we don't actually know what shape the Earth is, because we can't go 150,000 metres up to see. So, Barnabus, my point to you, mate, is you need to check things a little bit more thoroughly before you go making statements, okay? Some of your comments, some of your suppositions regarding the photographs have been a little bit like the fact that, you know, Victorian age, in the 1800s, people didn't have towels, mate, because towels were a luxury. Towels were expensive, they were a luxury only for the rich. And if you did have a towel, the last thing you wanted to do was take it down the beach and get it covered in sand. It was a luxury. Also, the women were dressed like they were and didn't really care that much, because the emphasis in the 1800s was on covering your flesh and not got to do that, switch my mic off. Yeah, it was, the emphasis was on covering your flesh. That's why they were wearing clothes and they looked ridiculous on the beach. That was society, and that was the way they were programmed to be at the time, you know? So, be careful, mate. Don't tar everybody as a shill. People are calling Mark Sargent a shill, but all I've ever heard from him has actually been good. I don't understand how he has been labelled a shill. Myself and Roxanne watched him being interviewed, and every answer he came back with was spot on. It was spot on. He was spot on with what he was saying. This label shill, people use it and don't even really know what it means. And anybody, if they say anything that you remotely dislike, they're labelled as shill. I wouldn't be surprised if someone has maybe suggested that I'm a shill. Interesting, because I'm flat broke. I'm certainly not getting paid for anything. If anything, I'm forking money out every month for this. My money, I'm investing my cash in my little bits, you know, that make me able to present my work a little bit better to you. This is actually quite nice, being able to stand so far away from the camera. I've still got the paranoia of if the microphone is working or not. But that's because I'm not used to this. I better not go too far. I'm going to just go down here, because it's awesome you got down here. There's so much life down here. I'm going to do my David Attenborough. There's so much life down here in the rocks. If we look closely, we'll be able to see there are crabs. Crabs have made little houses. Here we can see they've installed electricity. The crabs have evolved. I think somewhere over here we have a nuclear thermonuclear testing facility. The crabs have been working in unison with the sandflies and the mussels. The mussels obviously haven't been providing the muscle because they are only shellfish. Crabs actually have all the muscle, they provide all of the security. The mussels are actually the brains, and the sandflies provide aerial reconnaissance. So this is the crabs' plan to overtake the world. I've managed to stop it. I destroyed their nuclear facility over here earlier by taking a piss on it. Obviously, human urine is highly toxic to any crab-based technology. We didn't. You what?
this goes, and that we all need each other, human beings I'm talking about. Yeah, we need everyone to learn to play nice with each other, bruv.
Rox, we do know
massively.
how deep this goes. We do know how deep this goes. Really?
Do we though? Do we really?
You know, we do. Yeah, you do. In
Chat
your
room,
heart,
give
you know
us your
just how
feedback
deep
on
this
that,
goes.
and anyone who's encouraged to put things in the comment section, by all means do so. But I personally feel that we don't know how deep this goes, and that's why I'm interested, because I know that we're all at our own different stages of our pursuit of truth, and that's why I love having conversations, because I get to see things or hear things, or you know what? More so hear things and try to see things from somebody else's perspective. So give me your feedback on that. What makes you feel like we probably subconsciously do know how deep this goes? Sorry, I didn't mean for my camera to be...
Because we're each the centre. Right.
So do you think instinctively, somewhere deep inside, we do know the extent of how this goes?
Yeah, I think that deep inside that we know that this goes right to the top or to the bottom, which, you know, we so how deep it goes, and yet it goes right to the top. This is all encompassing. This is everything. This is why you need to not look out at what's going on and actually work on you. At yourself.
Work on you. Dave Mannell says this. Dave Mannell says it a lot. Trinity Ford talks about this a lot, and he's got valid points with it. It's all about looking inside yourself and working on
but this isn't a selfish thing.
Because all of us, listen, myself included, I've brought baggage from my asleep life with me into my woke life. I'm still walking around with the same baggage I had when I was asleep, and I haven't fully worked on everything yet, you know? I haven't. I'm still working on things now. I think it's honest for all of us to say that, you know?
But they've deceived us on such a deep level that people will think that a lot of people don't like to work on themselves because they think that's selfish and self-centered. But it's about it's not about just you, is it? It's about you and the people that you affect, and the people that are around you, the people that make up your network. Now, this is what this is the crazy thing. This thing that I watched, that I told you, that I said basically made my mind up about what this is, where we live, where we are, what we're doing. It's really difficult to describe what we're doing without it sounding like an incredibly narcissistic, arrogant thing. It's difficult to explain it without sounding like a nut job, because you can't actually conceive how it works. You can't really perceive how it works. We can't, our brains, our intelligence is not enough to really understand how this works. But, excuse me a sec.
That's all right.
But it's essentially, each one of us is an individual expression of consciousness that's downloaded into a matrix, into this realm. Once you enter the game, you are in the game. You cannot get out unless you find the key, right? Which means that you are an eternal being, conscious being. Your consciousness is eternal. It will never go anywhere. It won't disappear. It's energy. It's pure energy. And so that means that you'll be recycled into the game. If you don't find the key in your first attempt, you will just keep getting recycled back into the game until you find the key to get out again. The game is like the games that we create, where there's inside the game there are there's non-player characters, or like characters that are actually part of the program, Agent Smiths, whatever you want to call them. They exist, but this is the most incredible game you've ever played. This is one of the things about games that always, it's always the why we have to buy new games. All the time we have to buy new games, because once you played it a couple of times, you know it. You know how to play the game, and you just, you know, you set it on the hardest level, and eventually you can complete it in the hardest level, so you get bored of it. So this is a game where the levels are constantly changing, and the non-playing characters are intelligent. They're artificial intelligence, right? And they exist as long as you exist in the game. They can only exist in the game. So they are. But when you come into the game, you've got this avatar. You've got this avatar that's your player. But your avatar has the ego. I don't know if the ego is something that's got put in, or if it is actually the avatar. Because there is, I think it's Seth. In Seth Speaks, he says that the ego was something that it's meant to be a lesson. The ego is a lesson, but it's got out of control.
Is that Seth Speaks? I don't know if I've watched that person. Who's that?
It's not a watch thing. It's a book. It's a book by Julia Robertson, I think her name is. I think I sent it to you, the PDF. I can, if I haven't sent it, I can send it. There's a link to it. I've done 2.
Chapter 1. I do not have a physical body, yet I am writing this book. You have heard of ghost hunters. I can quite literally be called a ghostwriter, though I do not approve of the term ghost. It is true that I am usually not seen in physical terms. I do not like the word spirit either, and yet if your definition of that word implies the idea of a personality without a physical body, then I would have to agree that the description fits me. I address an unseen audience. However, I know that my readers exist. Therefore, I shall ask each of them now to grant me the same privilege. I write this book through the auspices of a woman of whom I have become quite fond. To others it seems strange that I address her as Rupert and him, but the fact is that I have known her in other times and places by other names. She has been both a man and a woman, and the entire identity who has lived these separate lives can be designated by the name of Rupert. Names are not important, however. My name is Seth. Names are simply designations, symbols, and yet since you must use them, I shall also. I write this book with the cooperation of Rupert, who speaks the words for me. In this life, Rupert is called Jane, and her husband, Robert Butts, takes down the words that Jane speaks. I call him Joseph. My readers may suppose that they are physical creatures, bound within physical bodies, imprisoned within bone, flesh, and skin. If you believe that your existence is dependent upon this corporeal image, then you feel in danger of extinction. For no physical form lasts, and no body, however beautiful in youth, retains the same vigour and enchantment in old age.
So there is some good bits and pieces that you would want to recommend for audio. What were you going to say there?
Oh, no, yeah, well, I'm just saying there's some books I've got that I want to make into audio books.
Yeah.
Like,
can you name a couple? Because I know some people that are interested in audio books. People I'm speaking to. So I don't know what the rights are. With it, I know that one of the things that I've done is, or that I'm doing, and I've not actually put it up yet. It's the CIA document about consciousness, and that's a public domain document. So I think that's fine doing that. But I don't know about these. I think Seth Speaks as well as public domain, so it's okay. Good Omens by Terry Pratchett, because I just love Terry Pratchett, and the story of Good Omens. If anity, I haven't, no, but I'm interested.
Oh man, it's the best book. He wrote it in conjunction with oh god, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and it's about basically the Antichrist. Right, there's a devil and an angel. a demon, sorry, and an angel. They've been on Earth, and they've basically been on Earth waiting for the Antichrist. And just, you know, just getting about their business. The angel's been trying to save souls. The demon's been trying to... and you catch up with them at the point where they're at the hospital. They're outside the hospital, and they've been on Earth for so long, humanity has rubbed off on them. And they're basically, like, they're having a conversation. At the beginning, the conversation that they're having is just perfect. And I read this book when I was about 14 years old, I think. And I remember thinking back then, man, that's just, this man isn't writing, this isn't fantasy, this is real life, right? The demon's talking to the angel and saying, yeah, but, you know, they don't really have to do anything anymore. They do it to themselves. You just watch them. They think up things that, we as demons should be taking tips from them.
Oh no!
About how to torture, how to torture a human being, because they're doing it to themselves, like way better than we are. And that's how the book opens up. Basically, the Antichrist gets born and given to the wrong family. They switch. They do a switch, and he goes to the wrong family. And so I can't remember what happens in the book, but it's hilarious. It's all about the Antichrist that's being brought up in this normal family with God, whatever they're, you know, just a normal couple, and then there's this other kid that's just a normal kid that's meant to be the Antichrist, but he's been brought up in this political family in America.
Sounds Maddox. That sounds Maddox. Absolutely Maddox.
There's another book called L, The Bloodlines. Right.
That sounds interesting. So, Rich, tell me, where do you see things going with the conversation, for a start, of questioning what we're taught? You know, the awareness of that conversation in its own right. The online community, where do you see all that going over the next 12 months?
Right. Because of what I'm saying about our perception actually driving the reality. So, and being able to rewrite my own reality rather than anybody else's. I'm gonna visualize as much as I possibly can and try to have faith in this. This is something that's growing and it cannot be stopped. Consciousness is shifting. I know this because 2 years ago I could not speak about the things that I speak about in my local cafe.
Right.
And now I'll have at least one conversation every week with somebody about something.
Wow.
And there are more people now that listen to me, and they listen, and they don't
just hear you, they listen.
Or dismiss me or whatever. They sit there and I see their eyes widen, but not in shock at me, and I'm like, not, what the heck is this guy talking about? Like they did 2 years ago. Now it's more, you are joking.
So you get more the face more than the, oh, you're
more. I get the more sort of trying to. I can see where people are. They sort of know that it makes sense, but
right.
They're trying to.
So they're willing to entertain the conversation now, where they weren't willing to entertain it before. Is that what you're saying?
More people will entertain the conversation now, and like I said,
within 24 months.
I'm always flat smacking people, or
by default. Discussing.
Actually, what I don't ever say, oh, the Earth is flat. I don't say that. I say that they're lying about the shape of the Earth and the size of it. That's all I actually really say. I do say the Earth is flat because that's kind of, we've been programmed to do that, haven't we? We've been programmed to say, well, it's not a globe, so it's flat in a way, because of the. I guess that is what
everything we can observably see just now is flat. Everything's pointing to it being flat, but one thing it's definitely not is what we've been taught. It's not that spinning ball flying through space, because It's not.
All it is an observably flat. That's all it is an observably flat realm, and we can say that it is observably flat from as high as you can possibly go. It is observably flat. And that's a fact.
No evidence of curve. I've got no evidence on my remit of curve whatsoever. Neither's Howard. He's still got his 10 grand, bruv. No one's come with any evidence to him in over a year, and he's had that cash just mounting dust. He's just blowing the dust off of it. Just dusty old 10 grand.
I worked out because he did it. He's just like, he knew.
Listen, a betting shop won't take your money. You know, you can't walk into a betting shop. No one will take the bet. No one will take it. You could go William Hill, Coral. Listen, Poncho Pete. Good few people have tried it. Harry and the boys tried it. Everywhere they were going on the Highland tour as well. Not one betting shop. Harry even filmed it on Harry's channel, John Smith Global Eye. Wow, let me see if I can get the link for that. If I can get the link for that, I'll put that in the description. They're not having it. They're not taking the bet.
It's impossible. It is.
No one's taking that 10 grand off of Howard. No one's getting that 10 grand.
Because nobody can prove it.
Of course.
Because it's impossible
to prove. No one's coming with anything.
Because you can't prove something that's not a fact. You can't prove something that's not real. So
correct.
It kind of, you know. Nice, that is a nice one, Howard, man.
Yeah,
nobody's ever going to win that money.
It's good.
You bastard.
It's good.
You bastard.
It's good, man.
Why couldn't you have made it prove that there's no curvature? Because I really need 10 grand.
It would have been better if he'd have done that. Yeah.
Oh, imagine the things they could buy. Imagine the drone. That drone, man. €400. Oh, and oh god, the mahogany Martin. 1,700. Meet Mr. Mahogany Martin, €1,700 on my channel.
You could get that and the drone, but unfortunately,
because there's two aspects to 007, right? There's my truth sharing and insights, and then there's my music isn't just about me getting up and going, oh look at everybody I can sing, right? What I get out of my music and performing to people, I enjoy performing to people. And I like seeing people enjoy themselves, and the music that I'm giving them, actually, this sounds dirty, but you know, touching them inside, actually hitting a nerve, causing nostalgia or whatever, or happiness. And I see it all the time when I'm doing it. And I have people come and tell me all the time, you know, oh man, I've had about 3 or 4 people tell me that my music, they put it on when they've got a headache. They listen to my live stream when they've got a headache, and it helps. They just relax and the headache goes away.
See, when you get kind of feedback like that. I
don't want feedback like that to be like, yeah, look how awesome I am, man. I can take away people's headaches. I just like the fact that, mate, if I can do that, I'd like the fact that that's what it does. It's nice that it helps people. I don't want to be congratulated for it. I just want people to listen to it and like it.
I love that.
And
I love that.
And I think I deserve a guitar that costs €1,700, man. I've never had a Martin. I've been playing for 31 years. Don't you think I deserve a Martin guitar?
I definitely do. And that brings me to my next question about your channel. I've only ever seen brilliant things on your channel over the last year. Like, where's your channel going over the next few months? Where would you like your channel to go over the next few months?
My channel is on a very, very, very slow progression with subscriptions and everything. I wasn't sure when I started my channel what I was going to do. I just knew that I needed to create videos and they had to have truth in them. I realised very, very early on that if all I was going to do was just parrot what everybody else was saying, then that's all I was doing, was just parroting what everybody else was saying. And although it's good to have the repetition is good if everybody's saying the same thing. People need to understand that everybody got to the same place from totally different paths.
Starting points.
Completely different. Different starting points, different routes, everything, every aspect was completely individual and unique to ourselves. But they all seem to be missing the point. All of the channels that I was really into 5 years ago, a lot of them I don't watch anymore, and they're being called shills and stuff now because they're still parroting the same stuff to it.
And next time we come back to have a conversation, I want us to bring George in, Howard. I think he'll be a really interesting person to add into a conversation like this as well, because I think he's got a lot of input to give. Two people from Spain, one from the Canary Islands and one from the mainland, and two guys that are soon to be going to be linking up in real life. So I think that's going to be quite exciting. Man. That's going to be super exciting. So stay tuned for that. Next time I'm back with Rich.
We've got some big plans. Yeah, Rox. We've got some big plans because we've got Gran Canaria and La Gomera that we're talking about him. You know, link when he's on both. He's going to do some island hopping while he's here, basically. So one thing that we're definitely going to do is go to La Gomera, and we're going to do a
an observation,
a distance test.
Nice.
I should be getting hold of a P900 camera.
Awesome.
Hopefully today, maybe
today.
Rich,
that's awesome.
In the next, because Alan.
Shout out Alan. In fact, hopefully we'll be able to get him to come and chat to us, even if he doesn't want to come on camera. Even if he's up for just coming and chatting.
He'll come on camera.
Oh, nice, Alan. You know what? That would be awesome. Next time we come on, we'll bring Howard and Alan on with us, and then that's 4. No, that's not. Roxanne, do your maths. Like, it's not 4 people. It's 4 people with me. Like 3 people from Spain, but Alan's Scottish, isn't he?
Alan's Scottish.
Yep.
I'm from the south. I think Howard's from the Midlands, isn't he?
Yeah. But you're 3 British guys that are out in Spain, and you're all globe deniers, and I just love that. I love the link up. So next time we come back, hopefully we'll be able to line up Alan and Howard.
Alan's cut all his hair.
No,
he's not
hasn't.
Sideshow Bob anymore.
No, he had like long curly blonde. You had a Mohican, and he had long. Do you know what? Insert picture now.
Yeah.
Boom. That was them like nearly a year ago. So hopefully we'll have Alan and Howard back next time. That'll be an awesome hangout. So tune in for that.
His hair's marginally longer than mine, not much.
Yeah. Awesome. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great hangout. And we'll try and line that up for you guys. And for the outro, actually before I get to the outro, Rich, is there anything you want to close down the conversation with? Actually, no, there's actually something I want to mention. How do people get in contact with you, please? And don't give me your usual, you can find it, it's enough places. Like, can you just tell us right now how we can get in contact with you, please?
Right. Richard Avery 77 at yahoo.com.
That'll be on the bottom of the screen for you guys now. Okay, and it will also be in the description box for you. If you want to get in touch with Rich, just get hold of him by email and he'll get back to you. No worries. And other than that, is there anything you want to close down the conversation with until next time?
Imagine what I could do with a drone. No.
Oh, innit? Imagine what you could do. Yeah, imagine what you could do with a drone. Shout out to anybody that wants to send Richard a drone. If you've just got a drone laying around, preferably a
parrot disco would be like awesome.
Excellent, brilliant. Get in touch with Richard. His email address is his email address is. Yeah. Say it again, Sam.
Yeah, no.
Say it again.
Richard Avery 77. Richard Avery 77 at yahoo.com.
Lovely. Anything else?
No, I was going to say.
Anything else, my friend? Is there anything else you want to say for us people that are just listening right now? I don't know what kind of accent that was. Rewrite reality. Hashtag rewrite reality.
Right. And try to. Hashtag that. As I said, it's on my intro and outro videos. Try to hate less and love more, man. Nice. I like that. And speaking of outros, we are going to give everybody a little something from you. So no copyright strikes. We're going to do some of Rich's stuff. So stay tuned for a little bit longer. We're going to play you out with something lovely from Rich. Thank you so much for joining me, darling. And I'll see you in the background. Afi! Ruff! That was one of the other dogs, but he's
Timing.
just piped up now. Yeah.
Timing. So yeah, we're going to play you out with an outro, and next time hopefully we'll be back with Rich, Howard and Alan for a Globe Lie UK resident Spain flat chat. Much love to you all. Massive shout out to the chat room for tuning in and being here with us. Each and every one of you for taking the time out to be here with us, and as we've gone through this conversation, which I've really enjoyed. I've massively enjoyed. So until next time, if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description for 007's channel. Click the notification bell so you're notified the next time he uploads some content. And we shall be back soon with another open conversation about the Globe Lie, with the addition, hopefully, of Flat Earth Benidorm and Alan, who's an awesome counterpart over there in Tenerife. And hopefully you'll get that P900 later on and we'll get to see some more observations. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah. Until next time, people. Adiosings.
Later, man. Take it easy.